This utterly chaotic show is preparing a lot of new things for us to expect in Season 8, and some new faces are just a small part of it. Ever since Showtime started giving us a look into the lives of Frank Gallagher's family back in 2011, we have been unable to separate ourselves from our screens whenever a new episode came out. While it is a remake of a British TV show of the same name, it is one of the rare situations where the remake is actually really good. If you are like us, you have already spent almost 7 full years following the story of the highly dysfunctional family of Frank Gallagher, namely, him and his 6 kids. What caught the eye of many is that the show's creator, Paul Abbott, refused to showcase the stereotypical image of a poor person in the United States of America and focused on the reality of the story. Sure, there are times when the show forgets how the real world works, but it is still so down to earth that you cannot help it but get instantly drawn into the story. When the show was originally pitched by John Wells, people kept trying to force the image of a trailer park family to show how poor people are, as that is already a comedic stereotype used in most movies. But that only creates a bigger chasm between the poor and the middle class in the real world. A show like this will remind us that people are going through hardships even in bigger cities, even in our neighborhoods. You do not laugh at someone's alcoholism in this show, you sympathize with his family, you feel bad for the daughter that had to quit school to take care of her family, and the issues that they run into do not disappear by the time the next episode comes around. This show succeeds to masterfully show us all the gray colors of the world, with a father who shows concern to his children in one moment only to lie to his own son, Carl, trying to convince him that he has cancer. Why are we so eager for Shameless to come back? While the previous season did not offer huge plot twists, it gave us a perspective of how everybody mourns or handles the death of Monica. We hear the story of a different Frank, the one who went to college and fell in love. We see how angry about her life I really is, and then we see how life goes on without Monica as everybody keeps going on. But there are questions to be answered. What will happen with the meth? As we have seen, Monica left an inheritance of sorts in the form of bags of crystal meth, each bag being worth around $10,000. We saw Fi refusing to sell hers and even burying 2 bags with Monica, but nobody else had issues with selling the meth, so they still seem to be in play. Will Lip go back to school? Lip already believes his life is destroyed beyond repair, but he really does want to return to college. The emotional talk he had with Sierra did offer us a bit to go on off of, but can anybody really guess what happens with his school? Richard Flood joins the team. As it has recently been reported, Richard Flood, famous for his roles in Killing Kennedy, Crossing Lines, and Red Rock, will be joining the cast of Shameless for the 8th season. And his role seems to be rather intriguing. Richard Flood will be tasked with bringing a character named Ford to life. Ford is an architect that is a Yale graduate who has freelance experience as a war photographer. After all that he has gone through, he has decided to settle back in Chicago in search for what he believes is simpler life. Since his big encounter with the show's regular character is going to be meeting Fiona Gallagher, we can all rest assured knowing that simpler life is not in the cards for him quite yet. In fact, it was also hinted that Ford's life will definitely get complicated once he meets Fiona. This type of a reveal does not say too much, but it is not too big of a leap of faith to assume they will find themselves in a relationship of sorts. While we do not know when exactly will the 8th season be going live, we can say for sure that it is going to be very important for the lore of the show, so as they say, stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.